Welcome back to Loop Training. This is session number 2. You will have wanted to watch session number 1 so that you can be up to speed on this portion. In this session, we'll be learning how to create a loop for a buyer. We will have subsequent videos for listings, so stay tuned for those. You can also follow along with the systems training manual on how to create your loop. So make sure you're logged into the Loop system, and what we're going to do is we're going to go from this page here. So if you don't see this page, you'll just need to go up to this little icon for loops, click on that, and it should bring you right here. Your screen, you will probably only see the plus and the sample loop until we add the loop, which we're going to do right now. So the first step you're going to want to do is to click on this plus. This actually creates your loop. So it'll prompt you to name your loop. So we are going to use the property address, and this is probably the more common practice when we're entering a new property into Loop. If your property pops up here, you can always check it. If not, you can just hit Create Loop, and now you have an empty folder. So what we're going to do is just go to Add Document when that's already open. So if you click on this, it'll shrink it down, or if you click on it again, it'll expand it. We're going to start by adding a template, and we're going to go to the transaction sheet. Check the box, Add Documents, and that will drop that template into your folder. You'll want to click on this title, and I usually skip through the autofill and go straight to the form so that I make sure I get all of the fields filled out. The purpose of this transaction sheet is it acts as a cover sheet for your file. This helps compliance know what to look for when they're reviewing your documents. So if we're doing a buyer file, we're going to add this as a buyer. You're going to enter all the information that you know. So we're just going to do that really quick here. YOC stands for Year of Construction. This is one of the most important fields on this form because it tells compliance if they need to be looking for lead-based paint documentation. We're going to make this a simple scenario, and we're going to make this home old enough so that it doesn't have to have that. The market date will be stated in the MLS, so let's say it went on the market this date, and then the day you went under contract, and these dates will probably be the same. These fields are separate for listings, so we'll get to that as you watch the listing tutorial. And then your scheduled close date. We'll take TRID into consideration. And again, just fill out information as you have it. Your commission percentage will be stated on the MLS. And the client paid transaction fee depends on whether or not you're passing along the $150 fee to your client, or if you're paying it, you will not put anything in this field. So I pay mine, so I'm going to say 0. You are the innovative real estate agent, and you'll have your cooperating agent who was the listing broker. He's with Innovative as well. And since your cooperating agent is the listing agent, you'll mark that box. You may not always have the office ID and the agent ID, and that is okay. A lot of times you will get that at closing. And any other information that you have that you can provide on this form is going to be great. You will not always have the seller information. You can always put their first and last names in there based off of the contract, and then you'll put your buyer information. Whatever information you have, you'll add that here. Title company is also provided on the MLS. Your lender information will be probably from your lender letter that you should have gotten before you went under contract. If there is no lender, I would just simply write cash if that is applicable. Okay, so that's just a note to you right there. If you're using a transaction coordinator, you will state that information here so that they can be paid at the time of closing. And if you're doing a list assist deal with a builder, that would be applicable here. Your source of client field is very important. It also helps Innovative know where your business is coming from. So if it's from your sphere, you can state that. If it's an IRE lead, you'll want to state that. So Copel or maybe a referral, you'll state that here. And any other notes that you might want to pass on to compliance. So once you're done there, you're just going to go up here and click Save. And then you're going to go back, which will take you back to the loop. And that's how you do a transaction sheet, and we will continue this portion of adding a loop in the next session. So move on to session number 3. We'll see you in a little bit.